Welcome back to Hidden Wisdom Academy Biology. Today, we start the topic of seeds and the morphology of flowering plants. A seed is the mature ovule formed after fertilization. It has an embryo, stored food, and a protective coat. Seeds are essential because they help in reproduction, survival, dispersal, and crop yield. This makes the topic highly important for exams. So, without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about structure of a seed. A seed has different parts. The outer covering is the seed coat, with two layers, testa and tegmen. Inside is the embryo. The radicle grows into the root, and the plumule grows into the shoot. Cotyledons, or seed leaves, store food. In some seeds, extra food is stored in the endosperm. The hilum is a scar where the seed was attached to the fruit, and the micropyle is a small pore that lets water in during germination. Now, let's talk about types of seeds. Seeds are of two types, dicot and monocot. Dicot seeds, like beans and peas, have two cotyledons. They are usually non-endospermic, so food is stored in the cotyledons. Monocot seeds, like maize and rice, have one cotyledon called the scutellum. They are mostly endospermic, with food stored in the endosperm and alurone layer. In dicots, the seed coat is separate, while in monocots, it is fused with the fruit wall. Now, let's talk about dicot seeds in more detail. Let's look at a dicot seed, using examples like bean or pea. The seed coat has two layers, testa, outer, and tegmen, inner, for protection. Inside are two big cotyledons that store food. The embryo has a radicle that grows into the root and a plumule that grows into the shoot. The hilum is a scar where the seed was attached to the ovary, and the micropyle is a tiny hole through which water enters during germination. Most dicot seeds are non-endospermic, so food is stored in the cotyledons. Let's talk about monocot seed in detail. Let's take maize as an example of a monocot seed. The seed coat is fused with the fruit wall, forming one covering. Most of the seed is endosperm, which stores food, and it is surrounded by a protein-rich alurone layer. The embryo has a single cotyledon called the scutellum. The radicle, root part, is covered by coleorhiza, and the plumule, shoot part, is covered by coleoptile. This setup protects the embryo during germination. Now, let's talk about functions and significance of seeds. Seeds are very important for plants. They protect the embryo with a seed coat, store food for germination, and can stay dormant during bad conditions. Seeds help in dispersal to new places, ensuring plants spread and survive. They are also the base of agriculture because crop yield depends on good seeds. In short, seeds ensure reproduction, survival, and food security. Let's quickly recap what we learned. Dicot seeds, like beans and peas, have two cotyledons that store food, usually no endosperm. Monocot seeds, like maize and rice, have one cotyledon called the scutellum and store food in the endosperm. The dicot embryo has a radicle, root, and plumule, shoot, while in monocots, the radicle is covered by coleorhiza and the plumule by coleoptile. Seed coats also differ. In monocots, it's fused with the fruit wall. Here's your challenge question for today. Which part of a monocot seed stores most of the food for the developing embryo? Option A. Cotyledon. Option B. Endosperm. Option C. Coleoptile. Option D. Plumule. Comment your answers or send them to us on Telegram or Instagram. That's all for today's episode on seeds. We learned about their structure, types, and functions, with key examples for exams. In the next episode, we will study fruits, their structure, types, and important examples for exams. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to Hidden Wisdom Academy Biology. Also, don't miss our daily NEET MCQs and PYQs series. The playlist is linked in the description and in the cards above. See you in the next episode.